everyone, and welcome to day one of the Sunshine Readathon. I hope that you all enjoyed that as much as I just enjoyed performing it for you. If you somehow do not already know, this is a week-long readathon that is hosted by Jessica over at Jessica Nicole Dickerson, whose information I will leave linked everywhere you could possibly find it. And it's just so fitting that this is her readathon and it's called the Sunshine Readathon, because if you haven't had the chance to watch her videos or just interact with her in any way, she is literally the human embodiment of a sunbeam. So the fact that she has a sunshine themed readathon is just perfection. Sorry, I really didn't think this intro clipped through and I didn't have a spot to put you all, and my arm was getting tired, so you are now resting along with my arm on top of a giant stack of pillows. I have been so looking forward to this readathon ever since Jessica announced that she was doing it. I always am looking for week-long readathons to do, just because I think it's such a great way to interact with the community in like a fun way that brings you back to your childhood days of readathoning and just participating in a community. And I just, for whatever reason, find month-long readathons kind of intimidating, and I really appreciated Jessica's readathon because she created these amazing prompts that are really flexible and allow for lots of different types of books to be read, and they're really customizable and a lot of them can be combined, which is just perfect for me. I also love the idea of a week-long readathon because it allows me to take you along with me in my life. So I'm not exactly sure whether this is going to be a daily vlog type situation. I don't think it can be, especially since it's day one of the readathon and it's, what time is it? Where's my phone? It's already 5:05 p.m. On day one, so already off to kind of a rocky start in terms of the vlog department. So it may have to turn into like a week-long thing, or I may do it where I just do like 2 vlogs, like a part 1 vlog of the week and then a part 2 vlog of the week. I don't know, but at this point when you're seeing it, you'll know what it is. Okay, I sincerely, wow, the lighting, am I right? I sincerely apologize for what is now probably the messiest intro clip known to man. I realized when I started recording, I had nothing ready. I realized as soon as I started filming that I had nowhere to actually put you, and then my camera battery died, and I also, believe it or not, do not have my TBR set. I actually really like it when people set up their TBRs and like talk through their TBRs on camera, so I figured that we could do the same and have a little bit of fun with that. I really and truly meant to be more prepared than this. I do have all of the prompts written out, and I also have books that I'm interested in reading this week. They're actually right over there, hold on. It's not a requirement that I read. It's not a requirement that I read. It's not a requirement. I think that's the one requirement of a readathon, but it's not a requirement that I complete all of the prompts. But the like competitive nature of me is not very big. The most competitive person that I'm competitive with is myself, and so I want to just like check all of them off and say that I've done them all. So I hold in my hands the 3 books that are my options for what I feel like reading this week. The first one is Long Division by Kiese Laymon. The second one is Riot Baby by Tochi Onyebuchi. And then the third one is The Sea of Monsters, which is the second in the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series by Riordan. Now we're just gonna go ahead and read through the prompts and see if I can make these 3 books fit. The first one, we're already starting off strong. It's Golden Hour, which is to read a heartwarming book, which this one for me is going to be heartwarming. When I read this first one a couple of months ago, I laughed out loud. I loved every single second of it. So for me, just like a middle grade fantastical series about demigods, like what could be more heartwarming than that? Second one is the Dawnbreaker prompt, which is to buddy read with someone you've always wanted to, but maybe have been too scared to ask. Or I think it's either buddy read a book with someone you've always wanted to, or buddy read, ask like someone to buddy read that you've been too scared to ask. I don't know that I'm going to be able to complete this prompt in particular, just because I feel like it's so last minute and I don't want to like drop a last minute buddy read on anyone, especially if it's someone that I've been too nervous to ask. I do have a friend on Instagram that I know was planning to read Long Division by Kiese Laymon, so maybe I'll ask them later in the week. I don't want to put any of their information like on camera without their permission, but that may work. Third one is Daylight's Flare, which is to read a book in one day. So Sea of Monsters is a middle grade. Middle grade reads pretty quickly. I could read that in one day, but also Riot Baby is fairly short. I think it's less than 150 pages. It's a little over 150 pages. Plus it's like, it's short this way, but it's also just like a little book. Like it's not that tall. Does that make sense? So I don't know. I am like a proud slow reader, but part of the fun of a readathon is to like read as much as you possibly can without hating yourself and hating reading. So I think that this could be a really fun challenge. So I'm gonna put this as the potential Daylight's Flare. Next is the first blush prompt, which is to read a book with a queer romance. And I do not know enough about any of these books to know if they feature any queer romances. So I think for now, we're going to leave this one blank, although I would really like to prioritize that prompt. So we'll read through all of these, and if they don't feature any queer romances, then I'm just going to have to add another book onto my list because that is a prompt that I would like to complete. Next is the Sunshine prompt, which is to read a book wrecked by a booktuber or a book reviewer. Any three of these could work. I could list several people who have recommended this one and this one and this one. I can't particularly think of anyone like off the top of my head, although I was just reading someone's Bookstagram review of this one earlier. I'll have to go back to that one and maybe we'll use Long Division by Kiese Laymon for that prompt. The next one is a 5-star prediction. I remembered, okay, that's why I said that I wanted to read this one this week. Long Division by Kiese Laymon is a 5-star prediction for me. So I'm going to write that one down. And actually, okay, I can't do more. I was doing too much at once. I finished a book earlier today. Hold on, let me go get it. This book, Dark Matter by Blake Crouch, which was also a 5-star prediction. I did make a 5-star predictions video a couple of months back for 2021. I'm not including this one in the readathon, even though I technically probably could, but I didn't start it today. I just finished like the last 100 pages of it today. So I'm not gonna include it like to count towards any of the prompts, but I really loved and enjoyed this book. Is it 5 stars? I'm not exactly sure. I actually haven't been star rating any of my books lately. I've been taking like a break from star rating, but I think that if I were star rating books, this might be a 5 stars. I started out this by saying that I wasn't gonna include this in this vlog, and now look at me. But Long Division will definitely be my Starfire 5-star prediction prompt. And then the last prompt is the Spotlight prompt. I loved this one so much because it was to shout out a person who has positively affected your reading. And I love that so much. I love the idea of shouting out people, especially in terms of like literacy and why we love reading and who has had positive impacts on our lives. I'm gonna save this for a time where I'm less frantic and less sweaty. So in terms of actual readathon reading today, I've done none. So I kind of want to stop talking to myself and you all. Sorry, no offense, but I need to get some reading done. It's just a matter of which one I want to pick up. Prompts are partially filled out. Some of them are TBD. Part of me wants to be kind of more of a mess and start Riot Baby by Tochi Onyebuchi and see if I could finish it by like midnight tonight. I don't think it would necessarily be impossible because I don't have anything to do for the rest of the night. I actually think that Jessica said that she was gonna do some sprints with Chanel, I think, from Chanel Time. So I'm gonna go check, see if they're on sprints. And then I think I'm gonna make either a really good decision or a really bad decision in trying to finish my Daybreaker prompt book and finish this entire book even though it's already 5 p.m. in the day. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to day 2 of the Sunshine Readathon. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of hoping that that was gonna be more dramatic than it probably was. The irony is that I am in Arizona where it's sunny all the time, except for the past 2 days. It's been like rainy and gloomy and cloudy, which I love, but it's just not very on theme. Anyways, it's the next day. It's day 2. I promise that I will actually talk to you about reading and books at some point in this vlog, maybe. And I have an explanation for why you just didn't hear from me again last night. But first I need to show you something, put you onto something. Okay, everyone, here is what I'm trying to get everyone to purchase and buy. It's one of my favorite purchases of, let's say, this year. I know it doesn't look like much, but it's called the Hyperchiller, I think, or the Turbo Chiller or something like that. And the way I use it is to take this pot of piping hot coffee and make it cold iced coffee instantly. So I have my pot of a fresh hot coffee that I just brewed, and I'm gonna pour it, oh my gosh, okay. I'm gonna pour it into here carefully. Okay, then once you pour it all in there, you sit there and you swirl it around. Swirl it like an ice cream cone. So after you're done swirling, you let it sit for a couple of minutes, and then you can take this and then pour the coffee that's in here over ice, and you get perfectly cold, ice cold iced coffee. Like, look at how that didn't melt the ice at all. It's gorgeous. I'm gonna stop trying to be a walking advertisement, even though that thing is incredible, an incredible purchase. Let's actually talk about Riot Baby. Goal of wanting to complete this in however many hours did not get accomplished. This is how far I am into it. So I'm over halfway. It's not that long of a book. I will finish it as I'm sitting here drinking my iced coffee. So I don't know if I can still use this for the read a book in a day prompt, because I will have finished it within 24 hours, which is technically a day, right? I've once again gotten however many minutes into the vlog that we are and not actually talked about what any of the books that I plan on reading are actually about. So this is, I didn't know what this was about going into it, but so far, what I've gleaned from it is that it's about these 2 siblings. The older sister, Ella, has something that they call a thing, like capital T thing. And it's this gift where there's a lot of different things that are kind of encompassed in this gift. She has like telekinetic powers and can move things with her mind. She also can astral project, I think that's what it's called, where she can move around to different parts of the world instantaneously. And then her younger brother Kev was born on the day of the Rodney King trial announcement, just kind of where the title Riot Baby comes in. That's what they call him, is Riot Baby. And it kind of follows them, the 2 siblings, as they're growing up and as Ella is kind of struggling to control her powers. But where we're at now in the story is that Kev has been incarcerated for committing some sort of crime. And so now I think the primary conflict of the story is that Ella is kind of struggling. She has gone and kind of astral projected herself into the prison and visited Kev and talked to him, and he's brought up to her like, you have the power to get me out of here and you're not. This is the first time I'm reading anything by Tochi Onyebuchi, and I am blown away with how much I am enjoying his writing style. It's not really like any I've ever read before, and I wish that I could describe it. It just packs so much into so little. Like, this tiny little book has already had several singular lines that have really hurt me. And I mean, he's using this story kind of as a vehicle to bring up a lot of different heavy topics like police violence against Black bodies and incarceration and race relations and I mean, gentrification and redlining. I guess I just didn't really know what to expect with this one, and so far I'm really enjoying it, which is good. I feel like that's a good way to start off a readathon. I'm gonna stop talking now, and I'm going to sit here and I'm going to finish this. And the next time I'm talking to you, I will have completed a book for this readathon. How exciting.
Hear my thoughts on it. Go check out my vlog. And I'm gonna start.
Okay, so that was Jessica on her stories. Poor girl got copyright claimed. Gonna go watch her video though anyways. The sun is out. Finally came out for Sunshine Readathon Day 2, and I finished Riot Baby by Tochi Onyebuchi. I think that all of my thoughts and feelings from earlier, like at the halfway point, still stand. I guess it was really, I think I mentioned in the clip before that I thought that the primary conflict was going to be about the sister who has those kind of powers struggling with them and whether or not she should like use them to free her brother. I thought that was going to be like the main conflict, and I think maybe it's because I read it like in the summary here. That's really not what it's about. That's like a small portion of an already small story, but really as the story goes on, it's less about that and it's more just about the two siblings' lives as individuals and them growing and learning things on their own, and then ultimately them coming back together at the end. And the ending hurt me, but kind of like I was saying earlier, Tochi Onyebuchi packs so much in so few words. Even though there were themes in here that were difficult to read, in instances that were difficult to read, especially as Ella brings Kev like back through different times in history. The writing is so gripping, and just ultimately the resolution and the ending. I mean, Tochi Onyebuchi is a genius, and this definitely isn't the last that I want to read from him, which I always love when I can find a book and want to pick up more from the author. So I'm excited about that. Star rating, I think that I talked about this yesterday, that I have just been not star rating books. I've just been reading them and then marking them as read and then moving on with my life. I think that if I had to star rate this, it would probably be around 4 stars. Actually, probably a solid 4 stars, because in my time of not star rating books, I've discovered that what differentiates for me between a 3 and a 4-star read is that a 3-star can be a book where I really enjoy the story and have like a good reading experience, but when I get to the end of it, it's probably not going to stick with me. A 4-star, I have, you know, a good reading experience and I enjoy the story, but at the end I know that it's going to stick with me, and this one definitely is going to do that. So I realized that I haven't really let you all in on what's going on in like my life this week aside from the readathon. I started a new job yesterday, which is part of the reason why I didn't start the vlog until later in the day, and then I'm also moving today in like a few hours. And I know that sounds like a whole lot. It's not quite as like drastic as you might think. I'm starting my new teaching job this week, but kids don't actually come back for a few weeks. This is just like new teacher orientation training. And what's unique about my job is that I am teaching at a school in the Philippines, in Manila. Right now, like a week ago, I was supposed to be on the plane to the Philippines. There's trouble with processing visas and border closures and things like that. So I'm in the US still. Which kind of leads into the reason why I'm moving. I'm kind of like a woman with no home at this point. What you see in the background right now is the house that I used to live in when I lived in the US, and when I moved back from, if you don't know this about me, I taught in Dubai for the past 2 years, and I recently came back. I thought that I was only going to have about 2 weeks, like 2.5 weeks in the US. So I've been staying with my old roommate, and then actually my sister lives in this house now too. So they've been so kind and they've been letting me stay here. And I thought that I was just going to stay here for those 2.5 weeks and then go to Manila. Plans change. And because it's looking like more and more that I'm going to end up having to teach remotely on Manila time for at least a few weeks, figured that I would just move in with my parents because they live in Arizona too, and it's just going to be easier for me to be a burden to them than it would be for me to be a burden to my friend and my sister. So yeah, I'm starting a new job, but it's really only gonna fill like 3 hours of my day each day, and then I'm also moving, but I'm not necessarily packing anything up. Well, actually, that I do have to pack. Like I said, my mom's coming over here in like 30 minutes, and I still have a whole room upstairs of just like clothes and stuff that I brought with me from Dubai, but I'm not moving like furniture and things like that. So I guess let's go pack together. Maybe we can do a little bit of a montage. Jessica's vlog is on.
I was reading everyone's comments about how people were so excited to read it.
Here's pretty much everything that I have to pack.
Once a year, like I've read this book like
Here are the bins that I have them to pack in, as well as the suitcases. Let's montage, shall we?
And since it's the last week before school starts, it's the audiobook too is so fun reading Blackout, and after I read the first 50 pages of that to get halfway through that tonight. See, now this is my
Okay, so I'm packing up my books, and by packing up I mean throwing them into bins, and I found this cute, oh, that's not the part of it. I found this little card that I saved. I actually think it's like a coupon from Madewell, but it says like a ray of sunshine, and how perfect is that? So this is just gonna be everyone's little sunshine readathon reminder. All right, and we are done and packed up. Thank you so much. Shout out to my friend and my sister for letting me live here for the past 2 weeks. Only thing left are the TBR books, which get priority, obviously. I think that I'm going to start this one, the Percy Jackson one, today, but I need to unpack at my parents' house first. So I will see you there. It is several hours later. I'm officially all moved in to my parents' house temporarily, or for a long time, who knows at this point. No, I was only moving a minimal amount of stuff. Of course, there was stuff that just like blew up and went wrong, and it was kind of an emotional experience. So shout out to my mom for keeping me sane, because everything that could have gone wrong did go wrong. I have about an hour before I have to be on Zoom and connect with people in Manila and do some new teacher orientation stuff. I'm in my parents' like spare room right now that they are so lovingly letting me use as kind of like an office space. And right now it's just that kind of catch-all room in the house. I have this nice table. I'll flip you around and show you it in a second. They have this really nice table that I'm kind of just gonna turn in to a work from home area. So this is what we're working with right now, and let's see what I can get done in the next 5 to 10 minutes or so. And also let's see if I can do a cool transition. Okay, how'd I do? Pretty good for 2 minutes, I think. There's still some things that I want to rearrange and get done. These are all my preferred pens and pencils, which is something that I never thought that I'd ever actually say, but I do have preferred pens. So I'm gonna see if I can maybe switch out these pens for the pens that I enjoy. And then, I mean, it's really not that complicated or fancy. I just have a space for my notebooks and my planner, and then my laptop, which I will use to join Zoom. Also, oh my gosh. So here is me and my sister when we performed as children in the Nutcracker. I was a page and she was a gingerette, and just a great time was had by all, clearly, as you can tell from this photo. Okay, I am going to change into something slightly more professional on the top, so that way they don't regret hiring me. And then this Zoom should be around 3 hours, and then I promise, actual reading will get done in this vlog. I guess I read this morning. I finished this one this morning. I don't know why I feel like I haven't read all day, but we will get to this one and all of that fun and good stuff after this Zoom meeting. And just like that, I am done with work for the day. I apologize for the very strange lighting that I'm sure is going on right now. I realized that earlier I didn't give you like a good context. I am in my childhood home right now, and so I'm actually staying in my childhood bedroom, which I chose when I was a teenager to paint this lovely shade of green. Anyways, it's strange being back in my childhood bedroom a little bit. Maybe it's a little bit on theme because I'm going to be reading like a child. I'm going to be picking up The Sea of Monsters, which is the second in the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series. I actually did not read these as a child. The age I was when these came out I was just like just old enough that I felt like I was too cool to read them, so I missed it. And then when I became a teacher, my students would not shut up about anything Rick Riordan, and so basically I let my students bully me over the course of 5 years into finally picking up the first Percy Jackson, The Lightning Thief, earlier this year, and I loved every single second of it. I was thinking about this earlier because I'm using this one for the heartwarming prompt. I forget the exact title of the prompt. I should go get my notebook. But I'm using this one as a book that's heartwarming because I'm making the assumption that it's going to give me similar vibes that the first one did. And talk about a book, The Lightning Thief, that I read at the perfect time. It was at a time where I was just at like an emotional low in my life, and I needed a book to just completely lose myself in, and I did exactly that. That is exactly what The Lightning Thief did for me. And I don't know about you all, but when I lose myself in something, I want to make it my whole personality. So I was like looking up Camp Half-Blood shirts. But anyways, I tell you all of this because I'm not a huge like ambience kind of gal when I'm reading. Like, I don't really like music of any sort. I just kind of like silence. And I was looking at Jessica's Instagram today. This is gonna be the longest clip in the world, but I was looking at her Instagram today and I was reminded that there's challenges, and I haven't been doing any of the video or like photo challenges for the readathon. Maybe tomorrow will be like photo and video challenge day. Anyways, one of her challenges, I think one of the video challenges, is to like show your reading routine. And so typically my reading routine is just like sitting in dead silence and reading. However, with this series, with The Lightning Thief, I just got so lost in it that I ended up looking up like Percy Jackson themed ambience rooms on YouTube, and of course I found a favorite one. This one, the Camp Half-Blood ambiance. It's just everything that I could ever want. So anyways, hope I didn't just expose myself. And if I did, I don't care, because I'm going to sit here with this ASMR room on and I'm going to get into at least a couple of chapters in Sea of Monsters before I go to sleep. Hello everyone, welcome to day 3 of the Sunshine Readathon. Quick poll, would you believe me if I said to you right now that it is the early hours of the morning? Like, I got up early this morning and I thought, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna come outside before the sun rises and I'm going to film, gonna start my day of vlogging off on a strong note. If you voted yes in that imaginary poll, thank you so much. You're wrong. It is not the early hours of the morning. It is in fact 7 p.m. on day 3 of the Sunshine Readathon. So I kind of failed as a vlogger today, and that I completely attribute to the fact that I failed at reading today too. I got about 5 chapters in to Sea of Monsters last night, and then I fell asleep, and I thought when I woke up this morning that I was gonna get so much reading done. I didn't. I haven't read a single page in this today. I haven't read a single page of anything today, and I need to, okay, I apologize for the audio quality if it's bad. Kind of windy, like right before a storm, and it's actually like 1,012,000 degrees out here. Like, it's not exactly comfortable. I can't sit out here for much longer, but I just wanted a new background for you all. So you're welcome for this new background, but I apologize because I'm sure you can hear the wind and the wind chimes going on in the background too. Like I said, didn't get a single page read today. I did run some errands though, and while I was out, I was running errands with my mom. While I was running those errands, we were in Anthropology, I think, and there was this really cute bag that said something about sunshine on it. I'll put a clip in here so hopefully you're seeing it. And I've decided to make it my mission that anytime that I'm out like in public this week, I'm going to look for things that reference sunshine, because I found that like postcard thing earlier, and then I found that bag at Anthropology, and I'm gonna try to insert them and record them for this vlog. In terms of like a reading update, I really can't tell you a whole lot about what this is about because I don't know what it's about. If you're not familiar with the series itself, Percy Jackson and the Olympians by Rick Riordan is about this young boy named Percy who has always found kind of a lot of trouble in school, and he discovers that a lot of the reasons for this is because he's actually a demigod, so son of a mortal person and then also a Greek god. And that's kind of the summation of book one. And I talked about last night about how that book came into my life at the perfect time. I absolutely adored it. It's definitely one of my favorite things that I've read this year. And I mean, already just within the first 50 pages, Annabeth has showed back up. There's Grover isn't there yet, but there's references to Grover, and I'm just having the time of my life. So hopefully I'm going to get more reading of this done, and I will update you later, so that way there's not only this one clip for day 3 of the readathon. I also have decided that at this point, because I've edited the footage that I've already done, that I think I'm going to do 2 vlogs for this readathon. To post a vlog on Wednesday as like a part 1, and then kind of another vlog on Saturday or Sunday as a part 2. Right now, I'm probably gonna go back inside, I'm not gonna lie, because I'm sweating. And I'm going to get this read, and I'll update you later when there's things to actually update you on.
What were you vlogging
Thanks
about?
for locking me out.
Were you vlogging about your book?
Did I tell you that I'm doing a readathon this week?
Who can read the most or something?
No, it's not like who can read the most. There's like different prompts.
So read so many pages?
No. It's not like page based. It's like there's certain prompts. So one of the prompts is like to read a book that's heartwarming. Or like another prompt is like read a book with a queer romance in it.
Do you have to read the whole book?
It's just like you try to, so like I have 3 different books that I'm using, and like I think there's 6 different prompts, so I'm making them work.
Oh, with
like to fit into each prompt.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah. Do you want to do it with me?
Sure, what do I do?
Look at my mom's stunning library. How do you have your library organized? This is your Newberry shelf?
Yes, and that's my collection. My goal is to try and have one of every Newberry book.
One copy of every Newberry book?
One copy of every Newberry book.
Do you know how many there are total?
Over 100.
Over 100? And how many do you have now?
25, say.
Oh, you're well on your way.
I don't know. I've got a ways to go. It might be more, a little over 100, but there's a lot of them. Read the dog food pack.
What are you going to read, Darcy?
Yeah.
The dog food package?
Dog food package, because that's my favorite thing to read.
Darcy, you can read a book in a day, right? I have never looked better on camera before. This is really fantastic, but I don't know how to talk about it because 1, I'm really tired, and 2, it's a sequel, so I don't know what I can and can't tell you. I don't know how to convey how much I love these stupid characters. We'll try again in the morning. Good morning, everybody, and happy day 4 of the Sunshine Readathon. And if you're wondering to yourself, hey Caroline, did you just get ready and put yourself together for the sake of taking a thumbnail? Yes, I did. I tried to update a little bit last night on this one. I don't know exactly how successful that clip was because I was really tired, and also I didn't really think this through when I chose this for my TBR for this readathon. This is not necessarily conducive for a vlog, like a reading vlog, if you want updates on it, because it's a sequel. So I don't want to accidentally give any spoilers for the first book on the off chance. Like, I feel like if you haven't read this series at this point, you just don't want to. However, I didn't get around to it this year, and honestly, it's one of my biggest regrets that I didn't pick it up when I was younger. So without giving too much away, I'm absolutely loving it. It's just as action-packed and hilarious and heartwarming for me as the first one was, which works because I'm using this for the heartwarming prompt. And one thing that I actually realized yesterday when I was reading it was that the last, I don't know, like chunk of the book right here is just extras. It's not actually part of the story. So it's actually a lot shorter than I thought it was. It's 279 pages. So I'm over halfway at this point and I'm going to finish today, I promise you. I also found this bookmark that my friend sent to me for my birthday, and how perfect is this for this readathon? It's sunshiny and happy and flowery and summery and just perfect. So this will be my bookmark that I will be using for the rest of the readathon. I actually think that I'm going to end this vlog here because I'm halfway done, well, a little over halfway done with this one. And I read my previous one, so I'm 1.5 books through this readathon, and we're about halfway through the week because it's halfway, well, it's 10 a.m., which we'll call that halfway through day. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. We're halfway through the week at this point. So this is going to be a 2-part vlog series for the Sunshine Readathon. I've read 1.5 books so far. So in this next vlog, the one that will come out at the end of this week, you can anticipate me finishing this one and then moving on to my next planned book for the readathon, which is Long Division. So I'm gonna say goodbye for now, but stay tuned for the end of the week because there's a second vlog coming out. I keep procrastinating ending this because I don't know how to end it. This is the end of my part 1 vlog. Keep your eye out for part 2. I love you all so much. I don't know how to end vlogs. I'll see you all again very, very soon. Okay, we're gonna end this here. Goodbye.